In this presentation, I'm going to talk to you about the fat distribution in a frog and a rat. The frog being an example of an amphibian and the rat being an example of a mammal. So what I did in this picture is I opened up the body cavity of a frog, and you can see a lot of the internal organs that you would find. So this is just as it is when you take away the skin and the muscle and look inside. So what you can notice, this is the muscular layer of the frog, and this is the skin right here. So frogs and other amphibians don't have any fat layers underneath their skin. The reason for this is that they can carry out gas exchange through their skin, and if there's a fat layer there, they would be unable to do that. So the way frogs typically store their fat is in these structures called fat bodies, and the fat bodies are attached to the dorsal side of the body, and those finger-like structures spread over on each side of the body around the organs of the frog. So in this next picture, what I did was I lifted up some of the organs that hang over, and you can see the fat bodies much better. You see the finger-like projections coming around on either side of those organs. On this picture, I lifted up on one side the organs, so you can see kind of how those structures are attached to the top over here. And in this picture I removed the fat bodies so you can really see the extent of these structures in the body. So again, amphibians store their fat in these fat bodies. They do not have fat underneath their skin. So that's in comparison to mammals, and the rat is our example of a mammal. Mammals contain subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat is fat that's found below the skin surface. So in this picture you can see a few different layers. What I did was I opened up the rat, and this portion of the body is actually the portion that overlays the belly or the stomach area of the rat. So there are 4 layers shown on this diagram. So this first layer is the fur, the hair, and it's hard to make out because it's a black colored fur against this black background, but here's the fur sticking out. The next layer is the skin, so the fur is attached to the skin, and then underneath the skin is the subcutaneous fat layer, or the layer of fat that is below the skin surface, and so that is correctly called the adipose tissue. And then to the interior of that fat layer is the muscle layer, and the muscle layer is the layer that is to the most interior of the rat. Rats do also have some fat distributed around their organs, but it's not in the same way as the fat bodies are for the frog.